everyone, welcome back to Crochet Delight. I'm Barbara.
This is Sophia.
And welcome back to another installment of Hot Off the Hook Friday. I think this is number 119. But anyways, I do have a couple things to show you guys this week. One of them is pretty much done. I just have to add buttons. The other things are halfway done. And then I've got something else. So I'll start off with this because it's, right in my lap. This is black alpaca, and got a whole little bag that I made of black alpaca, and I'll be spinning up some of this. This spins nice and thin. I love it. I have to get more because I've wanted to do a big spin with a lot of this, and I can get this as a nice, really thin yarn. Wish I had my drop spindle to work with this. But anyways, so if any of you ever wondered about some of the hand spun yarn, it's very different when you go from a drop spindle to a wheel, and it can be pretty difficult when you're first starting out. So if you run into any bumps in the road, don't worry. There's nothing really wrong that you're doing. When you're working on yarn, you're actually making it perfect. However it comes out, whether it's fluffy, whether it's not, whether it's big or small, or really thick, it is perfect, pretty much. And you'll find some that this looks really fluffy, and it's literally the perfect thing to work with. Let's see. That's about how thin I can get it. And that's with my fingers. Hand spinning, I don't do that. No. Hand spinning is a lot more work than actual spinning with a wheel or a drop spindle. I mean, you literally have to twist it and twist it and twist it and twist it, and don't screw up on which way you're twisting. But you will find in some of these, like that, it's debris. It's from when it's processed, and that's when it's processed from raw to a bat or roving or something like that. Even from Paradise Fibers, which this is not from them, even from Paradise Fibers in their roving, I have come across some debris here and there. And that does not bother me at all, mainly because I know that debris just happens. So, the first thing I'm going to show you is the yarn. I have some of this already made up, and I was going to make this into minis, but for some reason I am not confident doing the minis just yet, so I'll stick with, if I get enough for a sample yarn, that'll be the mini and that'll be it. But this is Firecracker. It's got some dark purple. It's pretty light over there. It's got some dark purple, some light purple, some orangey pink all through it. And these are the singles. I'm fine with crocheting through singles when I make hand spun yarn, but there are things about hand spun yarn that there are risks. So if you're not willing to take those risks when you purchase hand spun singles, then don't do it. But the risks are the thread could be a little too thin in some spots, so it might break in a spot depending on how tight your tension is. With my tension, it doesn't break that easily because I don't crochet or do anything too tight. But there are knitters that do a tight knit or crocheters that do a tight stitch, And my friend actually has learned that if her tension isn't that tight like it was the first time when she made a scarf, then it actually saves your wrist and your hands. Because a lot of the time I would complain about how my phone is crooked. There we go. I would complain about the pain in my wrist or my hands. That is mostly what you get when you're crocheting for too long and or your tension is too tight. If your tension is too tight, your fingers will cramp up, your wrist will cramp up and hurt, and that pain could actually travel up your arm if you're not careful. But so singles could break depending on your tension and depending if the spot is too thin or too thick. Sometimes the thick spots will just pull apart. It's never going to be consistent. It is never, ever, 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 ever going to be consistent. I mean, you can get a good portion of it a certain thickness, but then there'll be a thick spot and then a thin spot, and then you'll get it back to where it was. That's always going to happen. So it's always going to be uneven. And there were other risks to it. Varying colors. I make sure to let everybody know that there are colorways that I have created that I will not be able to perfectly replicate, like Sullivan. Sullivan is one of my most popular ones, but I'm not able to perfectly replicate it every single time. And I'll actually show you. This is Sullivan. I've tried to replicate it and I can't. See, I've still got the purple, but this one turned into more of a mint greenish blue, whereas the others were more of a darker blue and purple or a darker green and purple. So it's very hard to consistently replicate a recipe. Even though I have everything I did for Sullivan written down, I cannot get it perfect. I cannot get it back to the way the first one was, or the second one, or the third one. Those were the 3 batches that were perfect. This is the 4th batch, and it's completely different. But yeah. So those are some of the risks that you take. There's, I believe, more, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. It takes a lot more. It takes a lot more singles than the actual plied yarn to make a project. So, actually, no. It takes a little less, but at the same time, it takes more. Like, that galaxy sweater that I showed you guys, it took about 5 cakes. That's 5 cakes of 400 yards. So in singles on my wheel, and this is one of the smaller ones, so I have here we go. See, a little different. See, I didn't have much for this one, but this is 400 yards, approximately, to approximately 500. It takes about 5 of these to make one sweater for me in my size, and that's if I make it a little snug, a little more snug up here for the girls than I care to make. But so I would call that more of a medium instead of a large. I'm a large, but anyways, it takes about 5 of these, whereas if they're plied, it might take the same amount or even a couple more, but it's also thicker when it's plied. So you're you're working with something really thin, so keep in account how much you might need. It's just like if you guys were using cotton thread, which I really have seen beautiful yarn, beautiful cotton yarn, and you guys know I love panda yarns. I want to be able to try to make that type of yarn one day. Not anytime soon, because I'm not confident in it enough, but one of these days I will be making yarn like that. That is one of my big goals, and not hand spun, but in a way hand spun. There's a whole process to it, and I just barely can grasp that. But anyways, so I have Sullivan, I have Firecracker, and I have 2 of the Honeydew. And thank you for the name suggestion on this one. This is the one that's a whole bunch of different greens, where I used blue, green, yellow, and I think I also used pink on the roving when I made it. So there are some that look more like bluegrass, spots where it looks more like grass that's drying up, and sun's going behind some clouds, so it's a little less in your face. So let's see. Right about there. So, and I love it. I love how different all of these colors are, and I'm hoping one day I'll be able to recreate this. I did write down the recipe. I always write down my recipes. That's a habit that I've got, so that I can replicate them to the best of my abilities. I write down all the details that I can, like how much I put in and all of that. For these, what I did was I used tie-dye. I had a tie-dye kit and I hadn't used it in quite a while, so I took the tie-dye out of the box and started using it. And I used the green, blue, yellow, and pink. And it came out more green, which was surprising. But then again, at the end of it all, it kind of all became a muddled mess. So I think that's why it came out a little more green. Now this, I have to add buttons, but my friend's very late birthday gift, this sweater, is done. Very late birthday gift. If she needs it a little longer, I will happily add more to the border. But look at that border. I love it. This is something completely different from what I have done with a border. Typically, I like to do more of a ribbed border, but for her, I wanted to do something different, so I did more of a basket weave type of border, and I love it. Take a look at that. So, the amount of yarn, and this is a very thick sweater, I mean, it's a good inch thick when it's folded, just in half. But it's a good half an inch thick when you're feeling it on the edge. It took about 3.5 skeins of the Cryptic Premier Puzzle yarn. So it's Premier Puzzle, and the color for this one is Cryptic. And in the front panels, what I like to do is I like to go down one panel, and then on the other side I will try and match up as best as I can. With this yarn, it was a lot harder because the color changes weren't as consistent as I'm used to. So I did my best. Like, I tried really hard to, wherever there was dark blue, get the large strip of dark blue, or where there was a little strip of the teal to get that on the other side. I tried really hard, and there was a lot of cutting, a lot of snipping, a lot of taking them out. This sleeve took forever because I was just like, all right, I gotta do this. Oh no, it's too tight. Okay, add a couple more stitches after I take it all the way out, and then, oh no, too big, take it back out, and I finally got it perfect. So I ended up adding a total of 6 extra stitches. And instead of what I always do, which is decrease every 5 rows, I decreased every 10 rows. So on the 10th row, with my Afghan hook, I like to do sweaters with the Tunisian crochet. So, but with the Afghan hook on the reverse is where I decreased. I always decreased on the 10th row on the reverse. For some reason, that's just how I like to do it. I could easily just skip a stitch, but I don't like doing that for some reason. I think it's because it makes it looks a little like there's a little too many holes that shouldn't be there. But I got a nice seam, and like always, you never attach it on the right side. You always go into the wrong side to attach it. At least with how I like to attach them sometimes, or most of the time, see? So you get a little bit of a thick seam, but it looks like it's been made in an actual machine when you give it that seam. I mean, there is a stitch, I believe it's called the mattress stitch, where you take your needle and you just go in from the outside, the right side, and work down the whole thing, or down the spots that you need. That and it creates kind of like a seamless look to it. But I kind of like having a seam show in mine. That way it looks like it's more from an actual shop. But anyways, that is all that I have for you guys. I mean, the only other thing I am working on aside from yarn is my anniversary blanket, which the yarn is way over there, so I'm not gonna bother to get it. I will show you guys that in another video, because I'm getting down to the black portion of it. So if you guys remember seeing it, it goes from blue to a black and blue gradient to mostly black with some blue in it, and then it goes into black and a burgundy gradient to mostly a burgundy, and then it goes from burgundy to a burgundy and white gradient, and I love it. I can't wait to finish it. I'm only 22 rounds into it, and I'm excited. I have never done a virus blanket in full for an adult blanket, so I might mix it up after I get to a certain amount of rounds, and I might make like a virus mixed with a granny square. But at the same time, I kind of want to see what it looks like as just the virus Afghan. So, alright, so I think that's it for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed my blabbering. So, I'm gonna try, hopefully soon, to get a couple more videos going. Um, I mean, I might show you guys a little bit of the yarn process, like where I take it from the bobbin and make it into the cakes. Or I might show you actual spinning again. Um, or I might show you while I'm working on my anniversary afghan. Filming for me when I'm crocheting is kind of hard. That's why I've shied away from it quite a bit. Because I have to literally stretch about 1,000 feet in front of me in order to get it in the right spot, and then sometimes there's no real good way for me to position my hands and my arms. So, but if you guys don't mind it being this way, which it looks completely backwards when you're doing it facing the camera instead of having the camera like on the side or in back of you or in front of you but facing the other way, it looks completely backwards. So if you're okay with that, I'm okay with it. I actually think it's kind of neat having myself facing the camera while I'm crocheting, but at the same time, I kind of want you guys to see the stitches. But, alright, I'm babbling. I'm gonna let you guys go. So, have a delightful day, and happy hooking, everyone. Bye. Oh, before I actually say goodbye, I know you guys were about ready to click off. Little Sophia Little Sophia has an Instagram. I finally became one of those dog people. I finally gave little her an Instagram account. It is called Sophia's Studio, and I'm actually going to be uploading one of her pictures, well, sharing one of her pictures from my personal page to my business page. So if you guys want to see her little life, which this 7-year-old puppy just lost a tooth. She just lost one of her snaggle teeth. So she is adorable. She's had guys just go, "Aww," when they see her. She walked into a store with me in her stroller, so not really walked, and had 4 guys in the store just go, "Aww, that's so adorable." But, alright. So, if you guys want to follow her on Instagram, go ahead. And don't forget, you can also follow Crochet Delight on Instagram. A lot of my crochet photos, I try not to forget about Instagram, and I'll share from Instagram to Facebook. But if you go and stop running away. Okay, she runs the other way. So I try to share my photos from my Crochet Delight Instagram to my Crochet Delight page, so hers actually go to my personal page, but it's really easy. It's Sophia's and then a little line underneath and then Studio. Instead of an O, it's a 0. So, well, she's so cute back there. But alright, I'm actually going to say goodbye this time. So, have a delightful day and happy hooking, everyone.